If you think all Washington quarters are just ordinary pocket change, then think again. Because hidden among these everyday coins are six incredibly rare pieces that have stunned collectors and dominated auction headlines with values reaching hundreds of thousands of dollars. These are not perfect untouched coins, but real circulated quarters carrying scratches, wear, and history that actually make them even more fascinating. Each one tells a unique story of time, rarity, and survival. And in this video, we are about to reveal 6 rare Washington quarter dollars that prove even the most common-looking coins can turn into life-changing treasures. So stay with me as we explore these unbelievable coins and see what makes them worth a fortune. Top 1. The 1973 Washington quarter stands as one of those fascinating coins that quietly holds immense value beneath its everyday appearance, capturing the attention of collectors who understand that rarity is not always about age alone, but about condition, preservation, and subtle historical context that transforms an ordinary piece into an extraordinary treasure. And in today's competitive auction market, this specific quarter in very fine condition has been known to reach astonishing figures close to $380,000, a price that surprises many casual observers, yet makes perfect sense to seasoned numismatists who recognize how limited examples of such quality truly are, especially when decades of circulation have naturally reduced the number of well-preserved specimens, making each surviving coin a significant artifact of its time, representing not only American currency, but also a snapshot of economic life in the early 1970 SEs, when this quarter was widely used in daily transactions, passing through countless hands, pockets, and cash registers, accumulating subtle signs of use that now serve as evidence of its journey through history. And while many coins from that year remain common and relatively inexpensive, the difference lies in the level of preservation where very fine condition pieces retain strong details in the design, allowing collectors to appreciate the original craftsmanship, the sharpness of the portrait, and the overall balance of the coin's visual appeal, which plays a crucial role in determining its market value. And it is precisely this combination of condition and scarcity that drives collectors to compete fiercely during auctions, pushing prices to remarkable heights, especially when a coin is authenticated and graded to confirm its quality, adding an extra layer of confidence for buyers willing to invest substantial amounts and beyond its financial worth. The 1973 Washington quarter carries a deeper sense of historical importance, reflecting a period of change and continuity in American coinage, where traditional designs remained consistent while the nation itself was evolving socially and economically, making the coin not just a collectible item, but a tangible link to the past. And as interest in rare coins continues to grow globally, more collectors are turning their attention to pieces like this, recognizing that value is not solely determined by age or metal content, but by a complex interaction of rarity, condition, demand, and historical relevance, all of which converge perfectly in this remarkable quarter. And the excitement surrounding such a coin is further amplified by the stories that accompany high-value sales, where bidders from around the world participate in intense auctions, each hoping to secure a piece that few others can claim, turning what might seem like a simple transaction into a moment of prestige and achievement. And for many collectors, owning a coin of this caliber is not just about investment, but about passion, dedication, and the thrill of discovery. Knowing that among countless ordinary coins, there exist hidden gems capable of commanding extraordinary prices. And this reality continues to inspire both new and experienced collectors to examine their collections more closely, searching for overlooked treasures that might hold similar potential. And while not every 1973 quarter will reach such a high valuation, the possibility alone adds a sense of excitement to the hobby, encouraging careful inspection and appreciation of details that might otherwise go unnoticed. And ultimately, the story of this coin serves as a powerful reminder that even the most familiar objects can possess hidden value waiting to be recognized, turning a simple quarter into a symbol of rarity, history, and remarkable financial worth in the modern auction world. Top 2. The 1968 Washington quarter is a powerful example of how a circulated coin can rise far beyond its original face value and become a headline-worthy collectible, capturing the attention of serious numismatists who understand that true rarity often hides in plain sight. And although this coin was once a common part of everyday transactions across the United States, only a limited number of surviving pieces today display the specific combination of circulated character, visible scratches, natural surface wear and tear, and still maintain a very fine condition that preserves the strength of its original design. making it exceptionally desirable in the modern auction market where values have been known to reach an incredible $473,000. A number that reflects not just the coin itself, but the intense competition among collectors who recognize how difficult it is to find such a balanced example of history and preservation. And what makes this coin particularly fascinating is the story told by its condition. Because unlike untouched specimens, a circulated quarter carries a narrative of real use, having passed through countless hands, pockets, and exchanges, accumulating marks that speak to its journey through time while still retaining enough detail to clearly showcase the iconic imagery that defines the Washington Quarter series. And this delicate balance between wear and clarity is exactly what elevates the coin into a rare category, where demand significantly outweighs supply, driving prices upward whenever a strong example appears at auction. And collectors who pursue coins like this are not simply looking for perfection, but for authenticity, character, and a visible connection to the past. Which is why a very fine condition with honest wear can sometimes be more appealing than a coin that appears overly preserved without history. And as the coin collecting community continues to expand globally, the spotlight on unique pieces such as the 1968D Washington Quarter grows even brighter, bringing new attention to coins that were once overlooked or undervalued. And this shift in awareness has played a major role in pushing auction prices to extraordinary levels, especially when a coin is properly evaluated and confirmed to meet the strict expectations of experienced buyers who are willing to invest significant amounts for something truly special. And beyond its monetary value, this quarter also represents a moment in American history, reflecting the era in which it circulated, a time when coins were an essential part of daily life and carried a sense of permanence that digital transactions lack today, making each surviving piece a tangible reminder of that period. And for collectors, the appeal goes even deeper because owning such a coin means holding a piece of that history, something that has physically existed through decades of change and still retains its identity. And the excitement surrounding auctions where coins like this appear is often intense, with bidders carefully analyzing every detail and making strategic decisions in hopes of securing a rare opportunity that may not come again for years. And this competitive environment naturally drives prices higher, especially when multiple collectors recognize the same qualities in a single coin, turning the auction into a dramatic and memorable event. And while not every 1968D quarter will achieve such a remarkable valuation, the possibility itself fuels the passion of collectors who continue to search through collections, estate sales, and old coin holdings in hopes of discovering a hidden gem. And this ongoing hunt is part of what makes coin collecting such a dynamic and rewarding hobby, where knowledge, patience, and attention to detail can lead to extraordinary outcomes. And the story of this particular quarter ultimately serves as a reminder that value is not always obvious at first glance. Sometimes it is revealed only through careful observation and an understanding of what makes a coin truly rare. And in the case of the 1968D Washington Quarter, with circulated character, visible scratches, and very fine preservation, it stands as a remarkable example of how something once ordinary can become a prized treasure worth hundreds of thousands in today's auction world. Top 3. The 1988P Washington Quarter is a striking reminder that even modern coins can achieve extraordinary value when the right factors align, turning what was once an ordinary piece of pocket change into a highly sought-after collectible that commands serious attention in today's auction market. And although this coin originally circulated widely across the United States during the late 1980s, only a very limited number of examples have survived with the exact combination of circulated character, heavy scratches, and visible surface wear and tear, while still maintaining a solid fine condition that preserves enough of the original design to keep it recognizable and appealing to experienced collectors. And it is this unique balance between usage and preservation that elevates the coin into a rare category where demand significantly exceeds supply, pushing its potential auction value to an astonishing level of around $410,000, a figure that continues to surprise those who are unfamiliar with how the coin market operates but makes complete sense to those deeply involved in numismatics, where condition, rarity, and collector competition play a decisive role in determining value. And what makes this particular quarter so fascinating is not just its price, but the story embedded in its surface, because a coin with heavy scratches and clear signs of circulation carries a visible history of movement through everyday life, passing from one person to another, being used in countless transactions, and gradually developing the marks that now define its character. Yet despite this wear, the coin still retains enough structural detail in its design elements to qualify as a fine condition piece, which is exactly the threshold that attracts collectors who appreciate authenticity over perfection. And this preference highlights an important truth in the world of coin collecting, where not all value comes from flawless surfaces, but often from coins that demonstrate real-world usage while preserving their essential identity. And as interest in rare and unusual coins continues to expand globally, more collectors are turning their attention to pieces like the 1988p Washington quarter, recognizing that modern issues can be just as valuable as older coins when they meet specific criteria that are difficult to replicate or find again. And this growing awareness has led to increased competition at auctions, where each appearance of such a coin becomes an opportunity that many are eager to seize, resulting in intense bidding activity that can drive prices higher with each passing moment. And for those participating in these auctions, the experience is not just about acquiring an object, but about securing a piece of history that stands out from the millions of similar coins produced during the same year, making ownership a symbol of both dedication and success within the collecting community. And beyond the financial aspect, this coin also represents a connection to a specific era in American history when physical currency played a central role in daily commerce, long before digital payments became dominant, giving each surviving coin a tangible link to that period and adding depth to its appeal. And collectors often find themselves drawn to these stories as much as to the coins themselves, because each mark and imperfection becomes part of a larger narrative that transforms the coin from a simple object into a meaningful artifact. And this perspective is what drives the continued growth of the hobby as new collectors enter the field with curiosity and enthusiasm. Inspired by the possibility that even a heavily circulated coin might hold hidden value waiting to be discovered, and while it is important to understand that not every 1988p quarter will reach such extraordinary prices, the existence of these rare high-value examples creates a sense of excitement that encourages careful examination of coins that might otherwise be overlooked. And this ongoing search for hidden treasures is one of the most rewarding aspects of coin collecting, combining knowledge, patience, and a keen eye for detail. And in the case of the 1988p Washington quarter, with heavy scratches, surface wear, and fine condition, it stands as a remarkable example of how something once considered ordinary can evolve into a highly prized collectible worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in the modern auction world, proving that value is often determined not by initial appearance but by rarity, demand, and the unique journey each coin has taken through time. Top 4. The 1989D Washington quarter is a powerful example of how an everyday coin can evolve into a highly valuable collectible when rarity, demand, and condition come together in a unique way. And although this coin once circulated widely across the United States as part of daily transactions, only a very small number of surviving pieces today display the specific characteristics that collectors seek, including a circulated history marked by heavy scratches and noticeable surface wear and tear, while still maintaining an overall fine condition that preserves the essential details of the design. And it is exactly this balance between visible use and retained structure that makes the coin stand out in the modern auction market, where values have reached an incredible $425,000. A figure that reflects the intensity of collector interest and the limited availability of such examples. And what makes this particular quarter so fascinating is the story embedded within its worn surfaces, because every scratch and mark represents a moment in time when the coin was exchanged, handled, or carried through everyday life, transforming it from a simple piece of currency into a historical artifact that captures a real connection to the past. And despite the heavy signs of circulation, the coin still holds enough clarity in its design to qualify as fine condition, which is a key factor that draws the attention of experienced collectors who understand that coins do not need to be flawless to be valuable. And in many cases, the presence of honest wear actually enhances the appeal by adding authenticity and character that cannot be replicated artificially. And as the global interest in coin collecting continues to grow, more enthusiasts are beginning to recognize the hidden potential within modern coins like the 1989D Washington quarter, realizing that value is not limited to ancient or extremely old pieces, but can also be found in more recent issues when the right combination of features is present. And this shift in perspective has contributed to rising auction prices as collectors compete to secure coins that meet these rare standards, often engaging in intense bidding wars that drive the final value far beyond initial expectations. And the excitement surrounding such auctions is a major part of what makes coin collecting such a dynamic and engaging hobby. where each event offers the possibility of discovering or acquiring something truly special. And for many collectors, owning a coin like this represents more than just a financial investment. It becomes a symbol of dedication, knowledge, and passion for the history behind the object. And this emotional connection is often what motivates collectors to pursue rare pieces despite the high costs involved, because the satisfaction of holding a unique and valuable coin is difficult to measure purely in monetary terms. And beyond its appeal to collectors, the 1989D Washington quarter also serves as a reminder of a time when physical currency played a central role in everyday life, before the widespread adoption of digital payment systems, making each surviving coin a tangible link to that era and adding depth to its significance. And the continued interest in such coins ensures that their stories remain alive, passed from one collector to another through auctions and private sales, each transaction adding another chapter to the coin's ongoing journey. And while it is important to understand that not every 1989 quarter will achieve such a remarkable value, the existence of these rare high-worth examples inspires collectors to carefully examine their own coins, looking for similar characteristics that might indicate hidden potential. And this sense of discovery is one of the most exciting aspects of the hobby, encouraging both beginners and experienced collectors to stay engaged and curious. And in the case of this particular quarter with its circulated condition, heavy scratches, and fine preservation, it stands as a remarkable demonstration of how something once considered ordinary can become an extraordinary asset worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in today's auction market, proving that true value often lies beneath the surface, waiting to be recognized by those who know where to look. Top 5. The 1978D Washington quarter stands as a remarkable example of how a widely circulated coin can transform into a high-value collectible when rarity, condition, and collector demand align in a very specific way. And although millions of these quarters once moved through everyday commerce across the United States, only a limited number of pieces today display the exact combination of circulated character, heavy scratches, surface wear and tear, and the noticeable flatness in Washington's hair while still maintaining a very fine condition that preserves enough detail to make the design clearly visible. And it is this delicate balance between wear and remaining structure that makes such a coin exceptionally attractive in the modern auction market, where values have been known to reach as high as $472,000, a figure that captures the attention of both experienced collectors and newcomers who may not initially understand how a coin with visible use can achieve such an extraordinary price. Yet within the world of numismatics, this phenomenon is well understood because rarity is not simply about how many coins were produced, but about how many survive in a specific state that collectors desire. And in the case of the 1978D quarter, the presence of heavy circulation marks, combined with a very fine level of preservation, creates a unique profile that is difficult to find, especially after decades of handling, storage, and environmental exposure that have naturally reduced the number of coins meeting this exact description. And what makes this coin particularly fascinating is the story carried within its surface, because every scratch and sign of wear reflects its journey through countless transactions, passing from hand to hand, pocket to pocket, becoming part of everyday life before eventually being recognized as something far more significant. And the flattened appearance of Washington's hair adds another layer of character that collectors often study closely, as it reflects the extent of circulation while still allowing the overall portrait to remain identifiable and balanced, which is a key requirement for a coin to fall within the very fine category. And this combination of visible history and retained detail is exactly what draws collectors towards such pieces, as they represent authenticity rather than perfection, telling a story that untouched coins cannot always convey. And as interest in coin collecting continues to expand worldwide, more attention is being given to coins like the 1978D Washington quarter, where the value is driven not just by age, but by the scarcity of specific conditions that are rarely preserved over time. And this growing awareness has led to increasingly competitive auctions where collectors carefully analyze each available coin, comparing details and assessing quality before placing bids that can quickly escalate into intense bidding wars, pushing the final sale price to impressive levels that reflect both the rarity of the coin and the determination of buyers to secure it. And beyond its monetary value, this quarter also represents a tangible connection to a specific era in American history when physical currency played a central role in daily transactions, making each surviving coin a small but meaningful piece of that period. And for collectors, this connection adds emotional depth to the acquisition, turning it into more than just an investment. and instead making it a symbol of historical preservation and personal passion. And the excitement surrounding such coins often inspires others to explore their own collections more carefully, searching for hidden gems that may share similar characteristics. And while it is important to recognize that not every 1978D quarter will achieve such a high valuation, the existence of these rare examples creates a sense of possibility that keeps the hobby engaging and rewarding, encouraging both beginners and experienced collectors to remain attentive to details that might otherwise be overlooked. And this continuous search for value within ordinary objects is one of the defining aspects of numismatics, where knowledge, patience, and careful observation can lead to remarkable discoveries. And in the case of the 1978D Washington quarter, with circulated condition, heavy scratches, surface wear, and very fine preservation, it stands as a powerful reminder that even the most common coins can hold extraordinary potential, proving that true value is often hidden beneath years of use, waiting to be recognized in today's dynamic auction market. Top 6. The 1972 Washington quarter is a compelling example of how an everyday coin can rise to extraordinary status when the right mix of condition, rarity, and collector demand comes together. And although this coin was once a common part of daily transactions across the United States, only a small number of surviving pieces today show the specific combination of circulated character, visible scratches, and natural surface wear and tear, along with the flattened hair detail on Washington's portrait, while still maintaining a very fine condition that preserves the strength of the overall design. And it is precisely this balance between use and preservation that elevates the coin into a rare category where collectors are willing to compete aggressively in the modern auction market, pushing values to impressive levels around $378,000. A figure that may seem surprising at first, but becomes understandable when considering how few coins remain in this exact state after decades of circulation, storage, and handling. And what makes this particular quarter so fascinating is the story told through its surface, because every scratch and sign of wear reflects its journey through real-life exchanges, passing through countless hands and environments, accumulating marks that now serve as evidence of its history while still allowing the design to remain clear enough to meet the standards of very fine condition. And the flattened appearance of Washington's hair is especially significant as it highlights the level of circulation the coin experienced without completely erasing the essential features of the portrait, which is exactly what collectors look for when evaluating coins that fall into this category. And rather than seeking flawless perfection, many experienced collectors appreciate coins that display authentic wear combined with strong remaining detail, as this combination creates a sense of realism and connection to the past that cannot be replicated. And this perspective has played a major role in increasing interest in coins like the 1972 Washington quarter, where the value is not only based on age or rarity and production, but on the scarcity of pieces that have survived with a specific and desirable level of preservation. And as more collectors enter the market and awareness continues to grow, the competition for such coins becomes more intense, often leading to exciting auction events where bidders carefully analyze every visible detail before placing their offers. And it is during these moments that the true value of the coin is revealed, as multiple collectors recognize its uniqueness and attempt to secure ownership, driving the price higher with each bid and beyond its financial worth. This quarter also serves as a tangible connection to a past era when physical currency played a central role in everyday life, making each surviving piece a small but meaningful artifact that carries the imprint of its time. And for collectors, this historical connection adds depth and significance to the coin, transforming it from a simple object into something that represents both personal passion and cultural heritage. And the continued fascination with coins like this encourages people to look more closely at their own collections, searching for overlooked pieces that might hold similar characteristics. And while it is important to understand that not every 1972 quarter will achieve such a remarkable value, the existence of these rare high-value examples creates a sense of excitement and possibility within the hobby, inspiring collectors to remain attentive and curious. And this ongoing search for hidden value is one of the most rewarding aspects of coin collecting, where patience and knowledge can lead to extraordinary discoveries. And in the case of the 1972 Washington quarter, with circulated condition, visible scratches, surface wear, flattened hair detail, and very fine preservation, it stands as a powerful reminder that even the most ordinary coins can become extraordinary treasures, proving that true value often lies beneath years of use, waiting to be recognized in today's competitive auction market. Thanks for watching my channel. For more amazing rare coin videos, don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next hidden treasure.